This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
This is The Mighty Rock, starring BJ and Migs. Mornings.
Because, hey, at least once a day, you should experience a BJ.
You know, I'm ready for my BJ.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, an Odyssey station. And speaking of that, get the Odyssey app. Oh, you're going to like that because we got new curated music stations. They're exclusive for listeners just like you. Hundreds of new stations for summer barbecues, road trips, working out. You want to relax poolside.
You want to listen to some metal, BJ?
Yeah.
Figure out
All
where
right.
where metal first started. You can listen to the Masters of Metal station, which is a pretty badass station. Or if you just feel like putting your lighter in the air, or now your cell phone flashlight in the air, listen to Lighters in the Air, which of course is going to be a bunch of power ballads and things like that.
Nice. Oh, yeah. And this is, like I said, hundreds of these curated stations just for you. All music, all for you, all on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download the Odyssey app today to get all the audio that matters to you. Odyssey.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser.
Whoa!
Beat Migs. You're a loser.
It is time
to Beat Migs, and it's time to
pump it up for Monday.
pump it up.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I gotta get pumped up. Late night last night, I've been chugging coffee.
Late night? You got a rave or something?
Pretty close. Doug Benson Comedy Show down at the Tacoma Comedy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he had an 8 p.m. show, which was great because he thought for the longest time it was a 420 show.
That's what I was about to say. Doesn't he only do shows at 420?
Most of the time, yeah. This was his first comedy show actually back, like doing a real comedy show. So he kind of messed up the times. But it was a sold-out crowd, everyone realized, because the ticket said 8 p.m., so it worked out just fine. It was a great show. It was fun seeing Doug back on the old stage.
Nice.
Let's get to our contestant today. We got Eric and Burien. Eric, are you there?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Steve, get out of here.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Eric will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Eric, you can pass all you want, but you will only have 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
In ancient times, what material were the first musical instruments made of?
Wood.
No.
Bronze.
No.
Pass.
Beginning with R, what is Dolly Parton's middle name?
Robin.
No.
Pass.
In archery, what animal's eye is used to name the center of the target?
Bull.
Yes. The first Tonka truck was made in what decade?
40s, 50s, 60s.
40s, yes. With the internet, what does the abbreviation WWW stand for?
World Wide Web.
Yes. Which original Star Wars actor was previously a carpenter?
Pass.
Tin and aluminum is the traditional gift for which anniversary?
50,
No.
55, 60.
No. A person who is acrophobic is afraid of what?
Height.
What is Chuck Norris's actual first name?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 correct.
Yeah, again, I think, Eric might have been too young for some of these questions.
Yeah, just kind of hit around some of those ones that unless you're a fan of older stuff, it ain't just going to get you. Well, sometimes that's kind of how the ball bounces or the beat Migs does it. I don't know.
Wow, that was
Beat
really
makes
poetic.
beats.
Yeah, that's how the beat Migs beats.
Yeah, that was great, guys.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Give me some beats. I don't know.
No, you beat.
I walked in on you guys talking about beat makes beats.
You beat
Yeah.
very well.
You know what? It wasn't like what you did was out of place with that genius that they created.
Thank you, BJ.
Thanks for the backup. Are you ready? In ancient times, what material were the first musical instruments made of?
Dirt.
No. Dirt.
Wood.
No.
Trees.
No. Beginning with R, what is Dolly Parton's middle name?
Roger.
No.
Dolly Roger. Sorry.
Nice.
Robin.
No.
Rochelle.
No. In archery, what animal's eye is used to name the center of the target?
Bull.
Yes. The first Tonka truck was made in what decade?
Donka.
Tonka.
50s.
No.
40s.
Yes. With the internet, what does the abbreviation WWW stand for?
World Wide Web.
Yes. Which original Star Wars actor was previously a carpenter?
Jesus.
No.
Oh. William Shatner.
No.
Leonard Nimoy.
No.
I can't believe it.
Tin or aluminum is a traditional gift for which anniversary?
1 year?
No.
5?
No.
10?
Yes.
Nice.
A person who is acrophobic is afraid of what?
Heights.
Yes. What is Chuck Norris's actual first name?
Charles?
No.
Chauncey?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You win 5-4.
Oh, it's closer than I
Chauncey.
expected.
That was close. Very close.
Nice game, Eric.
I would mock you about the name Chauncey, but when I was little, like very, very little, I had an imaginary friend named Chauncey.
No, you didn't.
Swear to God, I absolutely did. Yes, my
Was he as tough as Chuck Norris?
I don't remember. My grandma used to tell me that I would tell her about Chauncey and all of the things that we would do.
How long did that go on for?
Basically, I think from like 2 to 4. So like,
What are you talking about? That was just last week.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that too as well. Now, did I say the original Star Wars actor or the original Star Trek actor?
I think you said Star Wars, but Steve actually
Okay.
told
I
himself
just
on
want to
that
make
one.
sure I didn't say it wrong because I didn't
No,
mean to say Star Wars.
I'm sure I just heard it wrong.
Okay,
He,
then.
You know
he
me.
trolled himself because
I did.
usually he likes to, throw in the Star Trek stuff when we talk Star Wars,
Yep.
and he trolled himself
I-
accidentally.
I've conditioned myself to instantly think of the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. Does anyone have a guess on the original Star Wars actor that was previously a carpenter?
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
There she goes.
I read all the memes.
Yep. That's one of those. He's probably got the
Like
question.
someone
from
said,
it.
can you ask Steve what he thinks trees are made of, please? I know wood. I just couldn't think of anything else that could
Well, actually,
possibly...
it's the other way around. Wood is made of trees.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So in ancient times, what material were the first musical instruments made of? It's a little more macabre than you imagine.
We learned it from the Flintstones, I believe.
Bones?
Because they were always playing stuff, playing bone stuff.
Yeah. So like the bone flute, using them as for the drums and stuff like that. And-
Wait, the bone flute?
Well,
I
that's
know
a
the skin
way
flute. I haven't heard
to
of the
go.
bone
Yeah.
flute.
the bone flute was a magic
Yeah.
card, so I'm just assuming that's what they got that from.
They didn't make a flute out of someone's bone, did they really?
Probably did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You mean what? Out of their thing?
No.
No,
I mean,
not that.
A legit
Wow.
bone.
An actual bone, like the leg bone or maybe an arm bone.
So
Wouldn't
they'd
be
hollow
surprised.
it out and then
Yeah.
put some holes in it.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, I feel like I'm there.
Does anybody know Dolly Parton's middle name starts with an R?
Yeah, it's Ricky Bobby.
No.
Rebecca.
It is Rebecca. Thank you, Danny.
Oh.
That was a complete guess, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, that's kind of. I always say Rebecca when I hear our name.
I kind of figured people would as well, but then no, we got Rochelle and Roger.
Well,
So-
it's Dolly Roger.
Dolly Roger.
Dude, that was
Worth
so
it.
funny. So that was worth it right there. And then does anybody know Chuck Norris's actual first name?
James.
Guess not.
No, Carlos.
Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos.
Oh.
Carlos Norris.
Yeah. Well, this is this is back in the day where when you were a star, you had to have an American sounding name. So a lot of folks, if their name had any ethnicity to it at all, they would change it just so that they could sound American. That's what a lot of actors had to do back in the day.
Yeah, and I have no idea why he changed it to that or why people called him Chuck or any of those reasons. I just know that's what it is.
Huh, Carlos Ray Norris. How about all this time I just assumed his name was Charles?
That would have been cool if it was Charles Ray, but Carlos Ray that's his name, so that's a pretty good one. Congratulations, Steve, you won.
Good job, Steve.
I didn't know that he founded his own discipline called Chun Kuk Do.
What? I have no idea what that is.
That's his type of karate that he does.
Yeah.
I never once thought that he had his own thing.
No.
I wonder how legit that is. Like if it, if
Chuck
it really.
Norris.
Well, I mean, look, I know that the legend of Chuck Norris is probably bigger than really what Chuck is. But I mean, I wonder if it's recognized as a martial art that people go, actually, this is a legit martial art.
I wonder why he went with Chun Kuk Do and not Chuck Kuk Do.
Probably because he wanted it to be a legitimate martial art.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine it means something. Whatever you just said. Obviously, if we translate it, it probably means something, but I don't know what.
It says the style was founded by Chuck Norris, originally based on the Tang Soo Do training in Korea when he was in the military.
Oh, okay. So he had some sort of Korean martial art training, and he did a little adaptation.
Yeah.
And made it his own.
How do I learn Chun Duck Go? What?
Duck, duck, go. What was that?
Wow.
Chun Kuk Do.
Yeah. I always use that as a search engine.
You got to call him Chuck.
Yeah.
Or Carlos, if you will.
Carlos. Yeah. He won't answer your calls if you call him Chuck for this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Interesting.
Yeah. So look at you learning stuff about Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Do you feel better for it now?
Well, now I at least have that in the back of my mind. If ever Chuck Norris comes up in a conversation, I'm like, did you know he has his own type of karate? And then
that's a good point.
And then they'll ask me what it is. I'm like, hold on, let me Google it because I don't want to screw it up.
Yeah, that's what you can tell people anyway if you're in a conversation. Just Google it.
I'm watching it right now, and it kind of has a capoeira kind of vibe to it.
A who?
Capoeira. It's like that dancing fighting thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's very pretty.
Oh, I don't think I even know what that is either. I don't think I've seen it. I've never heard of capoeira.
If you've watched the first season of Bob's Burgers, Tina joins a capoeira thing, and Bob poops his pants.
Okay,
well, I ain't
they're
doing that type of karate if that's what happens.
Yeah.
You'd be great at it, though.
Yeah, but you got to wear like a white gi. I don't want to risk it.
That's a good point. If you got to wear a white gi and then you're going to poop your pants, that's a problem. Yeah. Oh, I see what you're. But I'm watching it now. Yeah, it does. Oh, okay. I've seen some people use this in shows, and I didn't know this is what this was. Especially that sort of dancey spin move, where they flip themselves over a little bit.
Oh, they get to use nunchucks though. He should have his own line of nunchucks.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, look at Chuck.
Norris.
Nunchuck Norris.
Here's the thing, though. It looks good, but does it actually save your life? That's my question. When you're out there dancing, kicking, is it as good as the regular just kicking?
Well, I mean, as long as it connects, who cares?
They do sell, or they made, I don't know if they're real, but they're nunchucks, but they're Chuck Norris dressed as a nun made to look like nunchucks.
Attached to a chain.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I want
I
this
feel like
so
that's
bad.
something that would be sold at like Archie McPhee.
Yes.
Yeah. Or maybe
Yeah.
like an Etsy or something. I need to look this up now.
I want
This
this.
is what happens when Vicky goes on the internet.
Not wrong.
Now we have useless items we don't need, but we're going to ask for.
Yep. Soon to be in Vicky's purse.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
nunchuck Norris.
You know, for defense.
I mean, I can't argue that would be an awesome thing to have. A nunchuck, and it basically is.
Someone
Chuck
comes up
dressed
to you and you pull those out. Are they going to laugh and run away or just, I don't know.
Yeah, I might back off.
I think that could get you out of some trouble. Oh, you really want to fight? I pull out my nunchucks, and then you pull out those. How do you not go, all right, let's go get a beer together? You know what I mean?
Right, you hope, man.
Or if not, just be like, this person's crazy enough to purchase that. I'm not in the mood to have a fight with that kind of a person.
Yeah. Either way, it should resolve the situation.
Right.
Okay, let's order one for everybody. All right. Hey, here's a question. If you have money left over after buying your nunchucks, how would you like to go to space? Because, one super rich dude just did that. And, you can, too, if you just have $250,000. I'll tell you all about this at 7:17 on The Rock.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
BJ and Migs mornings continues on the Rock 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Richard Branson made his first space flight yesterday. Damn. He and a 5-man crew went 53 miles above the Earth. They achieved weightlessness for about 3 to 4 minutes.
It's funny because when I first heard the article, I was completely off the radar, I guess, because I got the little alert on my phone, and I was like, I didn't think he was going anytime soon. It just didn't dawn on me, and then I was like, oh, wait, he was supposed to go later on in the summer, but he moved up the flight. I was reading about this. He moved it up because, right after Jeff Bezos said he was going up on July 20th, and some believe that he did it so he could one-up Bezos, even though he says that wasn't the case. But it's like, it seems kind of.
That's totally the case.
It's like, I'm going to outrich you.
Yeah. Hey, I've watched Silicon Valley. I know how those people with all that money work.
Right, dude, sometimes you kind of wonder. It's like art imitating life or life imitating art. And you're just like, this sounds like the plot of a Silicon Valley episode.
Yeah.
He's going up to space. I got to go up before him.
Right,
I don't care if we might die.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. He's 71 years old, which makes him the second oldest man in space after John Glenn, who went up back in 1998 at the age of 77. Wow. It's... The thing is that he's not an astronaut. That is the really weird thing about all this, is that this is becoming a time where space is just not about NASA or any other space agency for a country.
That's the funny part when you say that, because when you say, oh, he's the second one after John Glenn, I'm like, I wonder how John Glenn, I know he's no longer with us, but how he would have felt if he heard that. He's like, I went through all this stuff to become an astronaut. Like, I did a lot of stuff to get to the point where I was able to have the privilege of going to space. This guy's just got deep pockets.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Branson says that if his childhood dream can come true, so can someone else's.
I was once a kid with a dream, looking up to the stars. And now I'm an adult in a spaceship looking back to our beautiful Earth. To the next generation of dreamers, if we can do this, just imagine what you can do.
Yeah.
God, that was cringy.
I was a young child once. You too can do this for, millions and millions and millions of dollars.
So cringy.
Now, hold on a second. It's not millions of dollars. You can actually do it for $250,000. That's all it'll cost you to go up with him.
Fair, but for him, he had to probably spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to accomplish this childhood dream of his. Like, I wanted to be Aquaman, but there's not enough money out there that's gonna make that happen now.
Yeah, not as far as I know.
Well, according to Richard Branson, if you believe you can achieve, sir.
Yeah.
Still,
it is cool. I mean, look, people can be mad at him all they want, but that is really cool that he went up to space. And, he's not able to really even tell us, though, after being up there, what it's really like.
As you go into space, it just, the views are breathtaking. And no question, we are so lucky to have this planet that we all live on. And that's what Virgin Orbit, our other space company that had a tremendous success last week, and Virgin Galactic, we've got to all be doing everything we can to help this incredible planet we live on. I will devote the rest of my life doing that, and I think other people who go to space with us will devote the rest of their lives doing that. You know, it's just, I'm never going to be able to do it justice. It's indescribably beautiful.
But what's he trying to accomplish?
Being better than the other billionaires.
Well,
I don't understand what, like, he made it sound like he's going up there for some kind of research purposes, and I could be completely ignorant to what he was, but it just sounded like he went up for funsies. So, I mean,
yeah, there's more that he wants to accomplish. There are people that really believe that exploring space, we should be doing much more than we did. And, you know, he's 71. He's 10 years older than I am. So he was like 19 or so-ish when, when we landed on the moon. And me and him probably thought, we are going to be so far advanced. You know, all the science fiction shows really thought that we were going to be going way out of our solar system by like the year 2000. So I think people like him really, really believe that, you know, the future of Earth is actually going out into space and discovering different things out there and taking it back here and helping this be a better planet. I think there's a lot of folks that feel that way.
I do like he's like, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to doing this. I'm like, I would too if you people had to pay me $250,000 to go on my little spaceship.
Yeah.
I'd be dedicating my everyday to that. Like, you want to come along? Give me $250,000.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I am sad though. NASA's not what it used to be, and of course, you know, it's because funding has to go elsewhere. And there's a lot of people on this planet that think we got bigger issues than to go out in space, and we should put our money towards something else. But it saddens me to think that our space program isn't better than I thought it would be when I was that 9-year-old kid seeing him land on the moon. So I'm behind Richard Branson. I know that he's got a ton of cash, and I know he comes off like a cringy guy in this, but I'm happy that he and Elon are at least putting space back in the picture and really thinking of
You're
space
a sci-fi
exploration.
guy. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm also I think a lot of us were so excited about what was out there when we landed on the moon. I really thought we'd be to Mars by now. Like, you know, we would have landed humans on Mars by now. So I'm a little disappointed. You know, I didn't think we'd be way out of our solar system, but I thought we'd be on Mars at least.
Well, you know what? Why don't you tweet NASA and tell them how disappointed you are in them?
Well, I mean, it's not
if
NASA's
you don't like
fault.
it, tweet it.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
NASA's
how we do
fault.
it these days.
Yeah, I mean, you know, NASA only gets so much money from the gov. What are you going to do? But, you know, when you're, all right, look, I'll be that. When you think of the money we have to spend on all of the military war stuff we have to do, because humans don't know how to get along, that's what saddens me, because I'm a Gene Roddenberry guy. I think, boy, if humans got along, we wouldn't have to waste all of our money fighting each other, and we could be in space. The final frontier. Da, da, da,
You know who's pissed, though? It's probably the guy that hit up Richard Branson for a pay raise that works for him. And then he's like, nope, we don't have the money anymore. And then all of a sudden, he's just like, well, I'm going to space.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
If you really want a raise, mate, how am I going to get to space? So think about that for a second, because it's my dream. Do you want to crush my dream so you get a couple more pounds per hour?
So money's no object. If you have $250,000 to just blow, and it's not going to hurt you with your bills and your life and whatever, in your future and your retirement and all those things, would you do it? Would you go to space right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If that money meant nothing to me, like I just had it and I could spend it and know that I'd still be financially okay.
Right, but the equivalent of like right now, like $1,000. I mean, not to say that's going to make you go broke. But,
I would spend $1,000 to go to space.
Right, like you'd be able to live, you know, throwing away quote unquote $1,000 to do something like this.
Oh yeah, I mean that AMC money, Steve. Just take some of that AMC money.
Let's not talk about that right now.
Literally go to the moon.
Yeah, I know. I'm still holding.
Oh, okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to bring it up.
Oh, it's nothing awful. It's just, it is what it is, man.
Hey.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
That's the stock market approach right there. It is what it is, baby.
That's all I can bear. I'm not going to get all worked up about it. I didn't put that much into it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing I'm glad you didn't. I was getting a little worried for a minute, and I'm glad that you were responsible.
Yeah, I mean, only my child's savings for college. That's all.
Oh, is that it? Oh, well.
Not a big deal, right?
Yeah. Well,
they probably won't even be college in 16, 17 years.
Yeah, probably in space by then anyway. Richard Branson just accomplished his childhood dream, going to space. And like Steve said, if money is no issue, what is something that you've always wanted to do, or what is something you always wanted to accomplish, maybe that you finally did accomplish? 206-421-ROCK, text us at 77999. What is something, money's no issue, what is something you've always wanted to do, or maybe you actually did get to do it? Your calls, your texts after Green Day on The Rock.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Richard Branson just accomplished his childhood dream, by going to space, and he beat Jeff Bezos too, which
Sucker.
He says he didn't move up his date in order to beat Jeff Bezos, but his date was supposed to be later than Blue Origin was going up, and then all of a sudden he saw that, and he was like, "Oh, hello, let's move up the date."
If you're Richard Branson, do you like shoot like a text, like a selfie up in space and send it to Bezos? I bet those guys have each other's numbers.
There's probably a billionaires group chat or
Oh.
something with just that.
Yeah.
How obnoxious is that group chat, you think? Because sometimes you get obnoxious with your friends over stupid stuff, and they can just be obnoxious over the rich things that they get to do.
Yeah, the three-way group chat is what I want to see. I want to see Bezos, I want to see Branson, and Musk. I just want to see how that goes.
I don't know. I might want to throw Bill Gates into the mix now that he's a single and ready to mingle kind of guy. I feel like we might be able to see some pretty crazy shots going on.
Yeah, and from what we're reading about Bill Gates, apparently, you know what, a little bit more wild than we expected.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's you know what, we might see some super kind of partying if we throw Bill in there. All right, I'm all for that. But we want to know this from you. We want to know, what is something that you've always wanted to do? Money, no issue at all. So if money wasn't an issue, what is something you've always wanted to do? Or maybe, you know what, you did accomplish something that you wanted to do. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Andrew in Kent. Andrew, you are on the Rock.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Good morning, Andrew. Welcome to the show, buddy. What you got for us?
Hey, it's your buddy, Andrew, the one that gets you all your goodies and stuff. I haven't seen you guys in so long, but hopefully you guys are still enjoying the clocks and all the other good stuff.
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
It's doing great. Tells me what time it is.
Yeah. Oh, he always tightens
was a
up
good
with
one.
some stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So mine is a few years ago I got to accomplish off my bucket list. I got to DJ in the Pride Parade, but the big thing that I got to do was I got to Ferris Bueller Seattle.
You got to I don't know.
You play a certain song?
Yep, I played Twisted Shout, and everybody went with it, and I was pretty much just going with it, and it was pretty much just felt like Ferris Bueller.
That must have been a fun moment, like a little bit of anxiety of like, this could go over just really poorly or really great, and thankfully it went great.
Exactly.
So, Andrew, there's a lot of cool things that people would like to DJ. Why was it special for you to get to DJ the Seattle Pride Parade? Why was that something on your bucket list?
It wasn't. The Pride Parade wasn't my thing. It was just being able to perform in front of a big live crowd like that and also being a parade. So it just was the opportunity and the chance to actually just get to do something like that.
I have to, you know what, it's, and I'm glad you brought that up, Andrew. I appreciate the call, and thanks for all the stuff you've given us over the years. You know, Steve, I don't know for you, but for me, I didn't know it's something that I always wanted to do, but it was an amazing experience. You know, whenever we went up for the first time for a Pain in the Grass is where you just, all of a sudden, you're in front of a sea of people.
Oh, yeah.
And, I never realized, like, oh, right. I was, hoping someday to do a big comedy, like with my comedy career, which never really took off the way I wanted it to. I always wanted to be able to perform at a live, like, in a concert hall or some huge place where you'd get to look out at a sea of people like that. And
it's such an adrenaline rush. It's like the most nerve-wracking experience, I think. For me, at least, it's like my stomach is in knots beforehand. It's like, where's the closest bathroom? And do I have enough time to take care of things? And then you realize, okay, it's not really that. It's just nerves. And then when you go up there and you do what you do and you just assume the worst. You think like people are going to like hate you or throw things at you and boo you off the stage. And unfortunately, it's usually not that way. I mean, every once in a while you have a clunker or two. But you walk off that stage and it went well and people are screaming. I wish you could bottle that high.
Oh, yeah, you're right,
I
man.
would drink it every morning.
Chug it.
It's such a great feeling.
Yeah, it really
is. It really is fantastic. And you're right, man. I have never had a bad time going up in front of a Pain crowd like that. Everyone has always been so cool. They love the station. They love us. And you're right. What a great, great feeling. So,
I think this person has a good one. Money's no object. Do a line to blow off of a stripper's butt in space. It's the American dream.
In space.
In space.
There we go. All right.
Well, Richard Branson said we could dream. Why not take it up one level?
This one I think probably is on a lot of people's lists. It's not necessarily on mine, but I would be totally down to do some kind of trip like this because it sounds like fun. Travel to every baseball and football stadium across the United States. By the way, Migs, you're going down in Bellingham. You're wrong, brother. I'm going to leave that place as a champion.
Oh.
That's a whole other conversation, though. That's 5cc Wrestling on July 31st. I'm going to be in Bellingham.
Oh, go get him. Go get him.
Yeah, I'm competing for the title, baby.
Oh, I didn't realize that was happening.
Big doings.
I thought you already had the title. Don't you have your own verified
I have
title?
my verified title, but I want to be the first ever 5cc champion now, BJ.
Oh,
look at that.
Well,
let's Stevie Two belts.
I can't believe that Stevie Two Belts is going to happen.
Stevie Two Belts, I love it.
Yeah, somebody's got to do something about it.
And that's got to be something you've always wanted to do, Steve. Was that you
wrestle.
accomplished was wrestling, man.
And all I wanted was one match. So the fact that I'm able to bang out a few matches before I can't do it anymore, which hopefully I got another year or two left of me, and then be able to look back on some fun memories. That's the goal.
That's awesome.
And you of course, obviously, you had your band and you played a lot of music in front of a lot of idea for you to be able to play for Stone Temple Pilots in front of that gigantic crowd. I mean, that had to be amazing too.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I go on YouTube every once in a while and watch footage of that, because it's still when it happened, it was such a blur, and it was also such a weird time in my life because I was right around when we were still trying to have a kid and all that kind of stuff. So life was just kind of I wasn't able to really appreciate any cool things that happened because I was in such a weird funk. So, I mean, I obviously that was an experience of a lifetime, but to be able to go back and look at it and just absorb it from fan videos and videos that were posted, then it reminds me of just how really lucky I was to have that opportunity.
So how about you, Vicky? Money is no object. What is one thing that you would love to do, or have you already done it?
I would love, if I have to pay my way in it, I want to be in a movie or a TV show. Since I was a kid, I've always loved acting, and even though I wasn't really great at it, but it was just always fun, and I'd see these actors and I'd always try to mimic and copy what they're doing. Even to this day, I'll watch cartoons and I'll start practicing how they're doing their voices and annoy the crap out of whoever's watching it with me. But it would be so awesome, especially if it's a show I love. I would love to be on a Loki or something, Avengers, Marvel. Oh.
Do you want a speaking role, or
Yes.
does it matter?
I would even if it's just here's your coffee, sir. I would be over the moon. I mean, if they gave me something more, I would not complain, but that would just a speaking role, hey, that's me. There's no denying that is me.
Yes, my voice. That's my moment.
That is me delivering coffee.
And of course, I almost had that moment for Vicky. It's something Marvel. For me, I could have been in a Star Trek show, but that dreaded Bob Rivers stole that opportunity from me.
Didn't he win it?
BJ. I say he stole it, not won it.
Yeah. Tomato.
It's amazing that you guys are still friends after that.
If you notice, I had him move to Vermont. I told him get the hell out of the state.
Him. There can only be one of us in this town.
That's what I told him. I had him removed from Washington State. 206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. All right, Danny, how about you? Money is no object, Danny. What would you want to do?
Honestly, I've been watching so much soccer because it's summer of soccer with all the Euro 2020 finals and stuff. I want to go to a World Cup.
Oh.
And wherever it may be, I think the next one's not here, but I think maybe in 8 years it's supposed to be North America, and they're going to do a bunch of games all over North America. And I just think it would be so much fun to just go watch Team USA play, and whether it's women or men, I don't care. I just love soccer, and just getting to go to a World Cup and being part of the final and stuff. Dream.
Yeah, if you get to go to the pinnacle of any sport where the fans are just insane, I can appreciate that.
What if there's a crazy riot? Would you get involved?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I'd throw my shirt off.
Then I want this to happen for you.
Yes, exactly. There'd be lots of naked Danny TikTok
burning
videos.
cars.
Yeah, burning cars.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is escalating.
It's the true soccer experience, BJ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you do that. That's I don't really want that much of that. I want the Ted Lasso experience. I don't want
Rev's touring with Orgy.
Oh, jeez, no, it's not. Mine was the one I accomplished. Thank you.
I was just about to ask Rev, but I was going to go to you, Steve, and say, "What do you think Rev's is?" But you know what? You did it for me.
I mean, that would be fun, maybe, possibly. I don't know what the hell I would do, but no, it was me being on Wheel of Fortune.
I'd like to buy an O.
Yeah, that.
Wow, that was You really still want to talk about that because that was really not a very good experience.
It was a lifelong thing I wanted to do. It was an accomplishment I was able to make happen, and I solved at least one puzzle. Stupid Phil.
Yeah, screw Phil.
Yeah, screw that Phil.
It's still awesome you got on there, man.
And all his money and all
think
that.
Think about how many people try and get on the Wheel of Fortune, and you got to be on the Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, absolutely. That's a thing. It was so cool.
I mean, they tour the country having auditions where they pack out venues like the Paramount Theater and casinos as well to find somebody that's willing to be that they think is deserving to be on the Wheel of Fortune. You were one of them.
I know. I deserved to be there, and then I lost.
Well, Phil deserved to be there more.
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I'd like to buy an O.
A video game that many of us grew up playing just sold for over $1.5 million. I'll tell you what game it was, at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. Can I leave things off of a bankruptcy, like my car?
You have to list all of your assets and creditors when you file bankruptcy. So you would have to tell the court and the trustee that you have the car or that you have a car loan. You could say that I want to keep my car and continue to make my payments on the car. But the court will need to know that you have a car and that you may have a payment on the car. So by leaving it off the bankruptcy, if you mean that you cannot disclose it to the court, the answer to that is no, you must disclose it. However, that does not mean that you'll lose those assets. You'll be able to keep things like a car and a house in almost all cases, but you must disclose them to the court. But you'll need to continue to make payments on a house or a car that you intend to keep.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.